Hello students, in previous part we have studied about the structure and different types of egg. In this part we will discuss on menstruation cycle, menstruation or menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle is the main characteristic feature of primates. It is the main characteristic features of primates. Primates are such like as human being and apes. Menstrual cycle is characteristic features of primates such like as human being and apes. It is the feature of female reproductive system. This is also responsible for female fertilization as well as pregnancy. Also responsible of female fertilization or pregnancy. Menstrual cycle or menstruation can occur at the starting from the time of puberty. It starts from puberty. Puberty is the time period in which body is able to reproduce. That is time period is called puberty. In female, that is puberty time period is 10 to 12 years, and in male 13 to 15 years. When it starts, the startation process of menstruation cycle, that is called menarche. The startation of menstruation cycle is called menarche. It starts from puberty time period. And after the puberty, it occurs every month. Every month that the menstrual word or menstrual word is taken from mensum. Mensum means month, a month, and that is occurred every month. Ovulation process can take place. If this egg is not fertilized, then this egg with the inner wall of uterus breaks down and the bleeding starts from the vaginal pathway, that is called menstruation, and if this process occurred every month, that is called menstruation cycle. So mensum, the menstrual word is taken from mensum. Mensum means month. Menstruation cycle occurs every 28 days. It is the normal. In some it is different, 30 days, and some may take 2 to 3 days before and after. So every normal female menstruation cycle occur at 28 days. How this process can be take place? What are the phases can be occur in the menstruation cycle? We will discuss later. First of all, menstruation cycle. It is the phase when there is no fertilization of egg take place. Then this unfertilized egg with the inner wall of uterus breaks down and comes out through vaginal pathway in the form of blood, that is called menstruation. It occurs every 28 days, or we can say that every month. Menstruation, or we can say that it may remain suspended if the female is pregnant. If the female is already pregnant, then there is no other ovulation, no formation of other egg can take place. So, at that conditions, menstruation cycle will be stopped. It also remains suspended. It also remain suspended during lactation period. if a female breastfed to her baby, that time it is called lactational amenorrhea, and during lactational amenorrhea there is no possibility of realization of an egg. So menstruation cycle may suspend during two conditions. If the female is already pregnant, then there is no ovulation can take place. If female is breastfed to her baby, that period is known as lactation period. And it permanently stops. The menstruation cycle permanently stops at the time of menopause. It permanently stops at that condition called menopause. The condition in which menstruation cycle occurs first, that is called menarche, and the stoppage of menstruation cycle, that is called menopause. Menopause in female in different time periods. In some it may occur 48 to 52 years. In otherwise normally we count 50 to 52 years. Menopause occurred in 50 to 52 years. In this condition, in this age, the female stops the menstruation cycle, and that condition, if the stoppage of menstruation cycle can take place, that is called menopause. During menopause, there are some features also occurred can be seen in the female body. The features occurred during menopause. If the stoppage of menstruation cycle, then it may increase the body heat, and that body heat reflection can be seen at the face, and that is called hot flashes. Hot flushes. It means the females can be seen just like suffering from fever. Second, decreasing level of estrogen hormone. Decrease level of estrogen hormone, because when there is no ovulation can take place, the level of estrogen hormones decrease. And number third, mood swings. The female becomes irritated. Mood swing. These are the features, and we know that in female a little bit quantity of testosterone hormone is also produced by the adrenal gland as well as ovarian gland. In female, a few amount of testosterone hormone. Although the testosterone hormone is an androgen, male hormones, but a small quantity is also produced in the female from the adrenal gland as well as ovarian wall and ovarian wall. But in the effluence, in the excess quantity of estrogen, there is no role of testosterone can occur. But as we know that the decrease of the estrogen hormones, level of estrogen hormone, then some symptoms can be seen of the testosterone. First one is, as the estrogen value or estrogen amount becomes zero, it means the estrogen hormone is not secreted, it becomes zero. In this situation, due to the effect of testosterone hormone, some facial hairs arises at the female, such like as some hairs at the mustache and beard. Hormones, some facial hairs can be seen. These are the conditions which occur as the menopause stage can be reached by a female. The menstruation cycle completed in 4 phases. Menstrual cycle or menstruation cycle is completed in 4 phases, and those 4 phases are: first is menstruation. Menstruation. It is the phase in which the bleeding remains continued through the vaginal pathway, and this phase remains in the female 3 to 5 days. During this period, bleeding remains continued. Bleeding remains continued through the vaginal pathway. And this phase is called menstruation phase. After menstruation phase, then the follicles start to deposit around the primary oocyte, and that phase is called follicular phase. Follicular phase. During this phase, follicles start to deposit around the oocyte. So it is called follicular phase. This phase remains 10 to 12 days. And third phase is ovulation. Ovulation. After deposition of Graafian follicles at the influence of LH, luteinizing hormones, ovum is released, secondary oocyte is released, and if this egg is not fertilized, then this egg with the inner wall of uterus breaks down. So that is called menstruation. Realization of an egg, or we can say that secondary oocyte, to release secondary oocyte, and it always occurred at the mid of the menstruation. If the menstruation cycle in a female is 30 days, so ovulation can take place at the 15th day, or if it is 28 days, ovulation can take place in 14 days. Normally it is counting on 14 days. And after ovulation, the rest remaining inside the ovarium, which makes the corpus luteum, which is known as corpus luteum. If the egg is fertilized, then this corpus luteum release progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormone is also called pregnancy hormone. But if egg is not fertilized, then this corpus luteum start to degenerate, and secretion, if fertilized, secretion progesterone hormone is known. So that phase is known as secretory phase or luteal phase. This is called luteal phase, or as well as secretory phase, because corpus luteum, this corpus luteum, the waste remains inside the ovary after realization of secondary oocyte. That is called corpus luteum. It secretes progesterone hormone. So this phase is called luteal phase or secretory phase. How this menstruation cycle can take place, we will discuss. We will draw a diagram and explain its menstruation cycle. There are 4 phases we can occur with a different phase with the help of an diagram. There are some changes occur in uterine wall, uterus ovarian hormones changes in ovary, as well as what is the stimulation after the stimulation of pituitary gland, what will happen. First of all, we listen uterine wall. Suppose this is the uterine wall. Secondly, ovarian hormones. The level of hormones which is secreted by the ovary. We'll draw the diagram with different phases, and the changes occur in ovary. Changes occur in ovary. That's this one. And one gland, pituitary gland. And fourth is the different phases of the menstruation cycle. Phases of menstrual cycle. First of all, we will start from the menstruation phase or menstrual phase. If there is no egg fertilization, if there is no fertilization can take place in egg, then at this condition ovarian hormone progesterone level becomes very low. Then the hormones level of progesterone becomes very low. And in this condition, the uterus or inner wall of uterus breaks down and it remains continue bleeding. And this process remains 3 to 5 days. And so this phase is known as menstruation phase. Low level of progesterone. When the low level of progesterone can occur, the breakdown of uterus wall can take place. This low level of progesterone then stimulate which one? Low level of progesterone stimulate the anterior part of pituitary gland to secrete FSH. First of all, listen that menstruation phase. After realization of secondary oocyte, if this egg is not fertilized, then this unfertilized egg with the inner wall of uterus breaks down. Because in this condition, low level of progesterone can remain, so uterus wall start to break. This will happen in uterine wall. This is the phase, menstruation phase. It remains 3 to 5 days. What will happen in ovarian hormones? Level of progesterone down. This low level of progesterone then stimulates the pituitary to secrete FSH hormone. FSH is follicle stimulating hormone. As the pituitary gland secretes FSH, the effluence of FSH can take place. The level of estrogen hormones increase. Level of estrogen hormone increases. Estrogen hormone increases, but the level of progesterone remains same, decreases. Here, this higher level of estrogen can can show in the ovarian, or we can say that in ovarian. The secondary, first of all, primary oocyte, it remains just this one. Due to the estrogen hormones, this FSH releases the estrogen hormones also. Due to the effluence of FSH and estrogen, the primary oocytes start to deposition of Graafian follicular deposition around it. and the primary oocyte change into secondary oocyte. Due to the affluence of estrogen and FSH hormones, this primary oocyte change into secondary oocyte due to the deposition of follicles, or we can say that Graafian follicles. Again, sir, progesterone hormones, as the level becomes down, it stimulates the pituitary gland to secrete FSH. This FSH also increases the level of estrogen. Due to the presence of FSH and estrogen, the Graafian follicles start to deposition around the primary oocyte and finally it changes into the secondary oocytes. Clear? After, as the estrogen becomes higher, there is no, as the secondary oocyte can take place, then these hormones, then this estrogen hormones again stimulate the pituitary gland to stop the release of FSH. It means level of FSH down as the secondary oocyte can take place. In this condition, estrogen stimulates the pituitary gland to level downward, not secretes the FSH hormones. In this condition, there is some changes can be seen in the uterine wall. Deposition of uterine wall, or we can say that the thickness of uterine walls becomes higher and it contains folded thickness is 2 to 3 millimeter. Again listen, in ovarian changes, Graafian follicles start deposition. Ovarian hormones, estrogen level increases, and what is the change occurred in uterine walls? Uterine walls becomes again thick, and that thickness is 2 to 3 millimeters. And this condition is known as follicular phase, or we can say that proliferative or proliferative phase, because in this condition Graafian follicles start to deposition around the primary oocyte. As the Graafian follicles fully deposited, then the estrogen stimulate the pituitary gland, not secretes the FSH. It means stoppage of FSH, but release another hormone that is called LH. Estrogen stimulates the pituitary gland not to secrete FSH, but secretes LH. LH stands for luteinizing hormones. We'll draw the different phases. First of all, menstruation phase occurred in these situations. The level of progesterone remains less. But in second phase, as the ovarian wall, we can say that Graafian follicle deposited, the level of estrogen becomes higher. This higher level of estrogen stimulates the pituitary gland not to secrete FSH but secrete LH. This LH then, which is responsible for realization of egg, and that is called ovulation. LH is responsible for ovulation. It means the waste material which remains inside the ovary after the realization of an egg. Due to the effluence of LH, luteinizing hormone, egg is released and this is called ovulation. This is corpus luteum. This change occurred in the ovary. Hormones level, LH is increased because LH is released by the pituitary gland. So the level of LH is increased. Luteinizing hormones level increase, and level of LH if increased, that is called LH surge. That is called LH surge. But estrogen level also becomes lower. Progesterone remains same. This change occurred in the ovarian hormones. And what change occurred in the uterine wall? Uterine wall also becomes very thick in these conditions. Uterine wall becomes very thick rather than follicular. The thickness is becomes enriched from 2 to 3 millimeter to 5 millimeter, and this phase is called ovulation phase. Ovulation phase. After this phase, the waste which remains inside the ovary, that is called corpus luteum. This occurred in third phase. In third phase, we have seen that thickness or changes in uterine walls becomes thick, that is 5 mm. Level of progesterones remains same, low level. The down of estrogen hormones, down level of estrogen hormones, but the level of LH is increased, and the level of LH is increased, that is called LH surge. Due to the increased level of LH, ovulation process can take place. Ovum is released. The waste material which remains inside the ovary, that is called corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. If this egg is fertilized, this corpus luteum start to secrete progesterone hormone. It releases progesterone hormones. But if egg is not fertilized, then this corpus luteum start to degenerate and it change into corpus albicans. Corpus albicans. But it occurs in that condition only when there is no fertilization of egg taking place. But if egg is fertilized, corpus luteum start to secrete progesterone hormone. Release of progesterone hormone, it increases the level of progesterone hormone. So in this condition, the level of progesterone hormones increase. Because egg is fertilized. When egg is fertilized, corpus luteum secretes progesterone, and that is called secretory phase. This will occur due to the secretion. Again, thickness of uterine wall can see, and this is called secretory phase or luteal phase. Luteal phase. But it occurs only in that condition when egg is fertilized. Progesterone hormones increase, level of LH and estrogen becomes down. LH and estrogen becomes down. Progesterone increase. We know that progesterone hormone is also called pregnancy hormone. Egg is fertilized, then progesterone hormone is released, otherwise not. If not released, it means if egg is not fertilized. If egg is not fertilized, then the level of progesterone remains low, and this condition may occur. Same low level of progesterone stimulating. This is called secondary phase. We have seen that menstruation phase remains 3 to 5 days. Follicular phase remains 10 to 12 days. Graphian follicles start to deposition due to the effluence of estrogen and FSH. As graphian follicle deposition and primary oocyte change into secondary oocyte, then estrogen stimulate again pituitary gland not to secrete FSH, but secrete LH. This LH hormone is responsible for ovulation. After ovulation, egg is released and remains is known as corpus luteum. This is called ovulation. Ovulation always occurred at the mid of the menstruation cycle, that is 14th day, or otherwise we can say that 15th day. And after fourth condition, that is fourth phase, is secretory phase or luteal phase. If egg is fertilized, release of progesterone hormones increase, progesterone hormone and the level of progesterone increase. If egg is not fertilized, then this corpus luteum start to degenerate and it changes to corpus albicate. Low level of progesterone is responsible for again menstruation cycle. So it occurs after 15 to 20 days. Luteal phase remains as the ovulation occurred 14th day. From next day 15 to 28 days this phase remains. Or if the ovulation process occurred on the 15th day, then it starts from the 16 to 28 days. This is the menstruation cycle occurred in female body. In next page we will discuss on fertilization, how the fertilization can take place in female body.